This show to talk with Austin Price on a Tennessee football game day. Because that's what we got for you. On a Tennessee game day against Illinois in the Music City Bowl, VolQuest's Austin Price joins us for his weekly visit. We got a game to talk about. We got the portal opening this weekend. Tennessee basketball in action. Austin, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Austin.
How we doing, everybody?
Good. How are you enjoying the Mid-State?
Ready to go home.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect.
I mean, I've enjoyed it, but we've been here since Friday, so.
Yeah, well, let me start it off light for you then, Austin, if you don't mind, man. What bowl gifts? Do they still get up for those? Are they giving out PS5s or Xboxes? Or will we find all this merch on eBay and other auction sites, man?
I have no idea, Ramon. Bowl games or something.
Sound fatigue.
That are not in my periphery this year. I did see them. They got a nice travel bag. But outside of that, I don't know what all was in it.
Man, I miss the old days of fossil watches and all those types of
Fossil
things.
watches.
I don't think they care about that anymore. They get hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, right.
That's the answer I was looking for, Austin. We got to
bags
it
of
now.
cash before the bowl game.
Re-signings is what they look forward to now.
That's
bowl
right.
Season.
That's right. Austin, is there a player you feel like has the most to gain today in the Music City Bowl? Josh Heupel's talked a lot about Jalen Hyatt's 2021 bowl game and how that set him up for success in 22. Is there a player or two that stands out to you who could use this game as a ramp into a really big offseason?
Yeah, Rodarius Jackson, Travis Smith, DeJuan Morris, David Sanders, defensively Jaden Perlotti, guys like Isaiah Campbell or Ethan Utley, all those guys I think we'll see action later this afternoon and have a chance to use it as a springboard into next year.
At that running back spot, Austin, when you talk about DeJuan Morris and Baker and the incoming guys they have in that spot as well, how surprised would you be to see Tennessee in the mix for one of these high-price transfer portal running backs? How comfortable do you think they are with DeJuan Morris being one of those main three to carry the football next season?
I think they're very comfortable, but I still think that they'll add somebody. So I think that's why they'll be in play with, different players. Cam Edwards, obviously, Hollywood Smothers is somebody we've talked about on VolQuest that I think, very well could end up visiting Tennessee when the portal opens up later this week. So, I think they're very comfortable with DeJuan. They love his progression, which is why you've seen him get more run at Florida, more running at Vanderbilt, and probably more run today. But at the end of the day, they have to have more than three running backs in the room. So I would say that they will definitely add somebody out of the portal because they didn't sign one in the recruiting class.
Austin Price with us of VolQuest's and On 3 today. Austin, when you look at the role that Ethan Davis can have today, man, and moving into next season, what's the expectation for him, man? Because he's such a unique athlete at that position.
I mean, I think his role will continue to grow. It's gotten bigger as the season's been long, especially with Kitselman going down. And it certainly feels like he started to find his stride as a player. And so they're going to have a nice little room with Desan Brame, Jack Van Slayer, and Ethan Davis heading into 2026. And I think that's one room that they don't even think about bringing somebody in out of the transfer portal. They're very comfortable with what they have coming back.
No doubt. Also, just looking at this matchup with Illinois, what stands out? What goals do you think that Heupel and his staff are trying to accomplish today, and probably starting with stopping the run if they can, right?
Win.
Perfect.
Win and win. Whatever it takes, right? I mean, it's sure stop the run. Don't give up big plays. Offensively, take what they give you. If they give you the, too high safety look, just, be patient and wait on them to have to go man. Probably run to Sean Bishop a lot and try to have success that way. But at the end of the day, just win. I mean, you're trying to get some of your young guys some run, but at the end of the day, you want to win because it's kind of like the Florida game, except for it's not as okay. So it's one of those games where if you win, oh yeah, it's okay. Who cares? You win. And if you lose, oh my God, I can't believe you lost. Right? So it's very very little reward for a game like this. The Florida game was similar in that you finally won down there since 2003. And everybody goes, oh, yeah, I mean, they were terrible. Of course you won, right? No, celebrate the win, right? I mean, like, you won the football game. So that's kind of the way this thing feels.
Austin Price of VolQuest's our guest this morning under Ramon and Will, as he is every Tuesday at 8:20. Pete Nako said the connection out there, Austin, between Tennessee and UNLV quarterback Anthony Colandrea, formerly of Virginia, ran for almost 700 yards, over 4,000 total yards this season. How strong of a connection at this point, Austin, do you see between Tennessee and Colandrea?
Not one that's real strong. I'm not saying that he can't end up being the guy Tennessee takes out of the portal, but I don't think that's the avenue Tennessee wants to go right now. I think a lot of that's agent-driven. His agent trying to, push Tennessee to take his client. And, that's where I think that's coming from. Again, I think Tennessee's watched him a little bit. I do not think they've watched him, like, the deep dive on him. And so I think at this point, Tennessee's still finding their bearings at the quarterback position. I think they've in some form or fashion, taking a long, hard look at Sorsby. That one still feels like Texas Tech to me, but they've definitely taken a long, hard look there, especially with the ties to Knoxville. And they've taken a long, hard look at Sam Leavitt. After that, they've watched a bunch of tape, but I don't think they're that far down the road with anybody.
Well, and also that was my next question, kind of on the Leavitt front. If Tennessee isn't in maybe the high-price Brennan Sorsby sweepstakes, so what does that look like then for Sam Leavitt, and how hot of a market do you feel like he has at this point? Because, yeah, like we've talked about, Tennessee's probably got the opportunity to be kind of picky here, considering the options they already have in-house. But where does Leavitt fit into that, and how many teams do you think are in those sweepstakes with Tennessee?
I mean, I think there's a lot for all those high-end quarterbacks, and a lot of them are the same teams, the Miamis, the Oregons, the LSUs. A lot of it been like teams like Oregon. Oregon's done a lot of due diligence, not knowing exactly what Dante Moore's going to do, but a lot of people out there think he's going to turn pro. So, yeah, I mean, Tennessee would like to be in the mix for, those players. I think a lot of it depends on price point, what kind of, I won't say deal, but what kind of functional deal can they get that doesn't like totally mutilate their portal money? I think they're prepared to go, in that $3 to $4 million range. After that, I'm not sure how much higher they go than that, unless they feel like that player is a guaranteed no miss kind of player. And so, I'm really functionally interested to see where the market is on all these quarterbacks. We all know, what number was thrown out there for Sorsby, but was that so high because Texas Tech was involved and they're over there just, writing blank checks? Maybe, we'll see as this thing continues to transpire. The question is, for me, is like, how quickly do the quarterbacks come off the board? How quick are they to jump in? Is this, a handful of them are already committed by January 3rd and 4th, or is this something where they, take their time?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I almost feel like this is tampering period right now before it opens up on the 2nd. With that being said, as far as the transfer portal goes, as far as Tennessee's concerned defensively with the coaching staff, how quickly do you expect this to be set and put in place, at least an understanding of what the defensive coaches are going to be, who's going to be retained? Because I saw Rodney Garner have, some traction this past week with, saying that he's going to be a part of the staff. How quickly you see this being settled?
I think that when the portal opens up on January 2nd, which is Friday?
Yeah.
I think Tennessee staff's, and pretty much completed. So I think after this game, I think the next 48 hours will be a lot of moving parts. Jim Knowles has not been on site this week. I think that's been by design as he tries to get all of his ducks in a row with his staff, and I think you'll see a lot of movement there over the next 48 hours.
No doubt about it. When you view Joey Aguilar, if he does win this case with Diego Pavia and 20-plus others, do you see him being back at Tennessee, or he's a portal kid going somewhere else too? I know it's a long shot for all of them in this case, and it's kind of hard to say what they're going to rule, but it has to be up for discussion that he may potentially play his last game or get an extra year, Austin.
Well, Ramon, I think it all boils down to timing. If he won the case, let's say, next Monday, then I think he'll be back. if this thing drags into mid-January, I think Tennessee's got to move on. And if they just don't end up having anybody if he won the case, then obviously that would work out. But Tennessee has to approach things like he's not going to win it. And the question is, does he really want to be a part of it? Because, there was a strong notion out there by several people close to him that they added his name to it just to help out, kind of like Pavia. He's really downplayed the whole thing. So is that him just, trying to not get his hopes up and approach it the one way, and then if he gets the opportunity, then he can readjust his thoughts? I would say that's probably pretty accurate, but he certainly downplayed the idea of coming back. Told me off to the side when all this first started 6 weeks ago, he feels old. He feels he's ready to be done with college, and scoffed at the idea, but understood everyone's line of thinking. Now, again, was that a kid just trying to downplay it because he doesn't want to get his hopes up? That's certainly possible.
Austin Price of VolQuest's and On 3, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Austin, how quick does this first weekend move for Tennessee as far as visitors are concerned? Is there any movement or clarity on where Tennessee could start as far as hosting visitors right when the portal opens this weekend?
Yeah, as of right now, Tennessee's working to get some players in town this weekend. I don't think anybody's in town the second, but I certainly think by Saturday, Tennessee will have some visitors. They've been linked to a few different players, and so I think there's a possibility that Tennessee gets some defensive guys in this coming weekend.
Do you see a specific position, Austin? I know we've talked so much about safety. As far as the trust on a guy like Jaden Perlotti at linebacker, how does Tennessee, in your mind, weigh the potential they see in a player like him, yet also the need to have a veteran at that position with Arion Carter's exit that is a obviously very premium position on this defense?
Yeah, I think Tennessee would look to add a linebacker. Keaton Thomas at Baylor is someone Tennessee's been taking a hard look at since he announced his intentions to go into the portal, and that's one I could see Tennessee, getting in here for a visit and seeing where things go there. You just don't know what Jim Knowles wants, right? How does he want to construct the defense? How does he want to rotate that position? That's a position he's coached individually himself for many years up until when he got to Penn State. So I think a lot of it depends on what Jim Knowles wants to do.
Austin, kind of going back to today's game and just the overall feel you get around this football team and spending time down here, like you mentioned, since Friday, how motivated do you think this roster and team is today, Austin? That's always seems to be the question, and we talked and joked earlier, like it's hard to pick these games against the spread because you just never know how much a team really cares about playing in a bowl game when they're not in the college football playoff. What have you kind of heard from this roster and from this group about their motivation to show up and put their best foot forward today?
Listen, kids always say the right things. They're not going to come out there and, when they talk to us and go, "But who cares?" Like they
Right.
say the right things. They say they're ready to play, get the bad taste out of their mouth in the Vanderbilt game, so on and so forth. And the young guys are talking about this is an opportunity for them to jumpstart next year. So they say all the right things. When they get out there and it's 34 degrees and the wind's blowing, that's when you find out how much do they really care. So they say the right things. We'll find out here in a matter of hours because you're right. I could see Tennessee winning this game by 3 scores. I don't think Illinois can win it by 3 scores, but I think Tennessee can. I can also see Illinois winning this game by 7 to 10 points. So for me, I think you'll find out probably in the first quarter kind of where Tennessee's at mentally, and we'll go from there.
Just looking at the year that was expected from Ricky Gibson, man, like have you heard about his rehab so far? Expecting to be ready day one of spring practice, considering it was, week 1 of the regular season this past year too?
Yes, he'll be ready to go when spring practice gets here in March, Ramon. He's chomping at the bit and, he's been doing all his rehab and, nice little 1-2 punch with he and Ty Redmond. And then we'll see who they can add in the secondary to go along with those guys.
No doubt.
It's a 5-star recruit right there coming in from your own roster and Ricky Gibson. Austin Price, our 5-star, every Tuesday at 8:20 here on the show. Our first game day visit with the glass breaking. Austin, appreciate the time as always. Thank you.
So to you guys next year.
All right. Thank you, Austin.
There it is.
Appreciate it. All right. Our last visit of 2025 with Austin Price of VolQuest. Some interesting stuff in there, as always.
It
with
was.
Austin.
Austin always kind of brings it right there. I was interested in the Joey Aguilar situation. So considering so many guys that want to be in that conversation and potentially come back, if you're a mid-round quarterback, do you come back and take that $2+ million and try to increase your stock? And according to the NFL draft, the recruits, the inside linebacker one was very fascinating.
Hollywood Smothers is the running back that Austin mentioned, who I think is in the mix for Tennessee, listed by On3 as the number 2 running back in the transfer portal. Only Caleb Hawkins at North Texas ranked better than Hollywood Smothers from West Charlotte, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, self-explanatory. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Hollywood Smothers is not coming in to be your running back 2, Ramon.
Name, man.
Hollywood Smothers is coming in to be RB1, in my opinion, if he's a part of Tennessee's running back rotation. And that would kind of put Deshaun Bishop, in my eyes, back to 1B.
He's 5'10", 190. I'm seeing him right now. So he's more of a scat back speed guy on the edge.
I remember him from the game last year.
Yeah.
He is a bright spot for them in a disappointing season. I like him a lot.
You do.
I like him a lot.
You like those NC State guys, man.
Well, no, I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Concepcion are about the only ones that there were. And Justin Jolie, the tight end, who's going to be an NFL draft prospect this upcoming offseason, I think. But he will test the NFL draft waters as well, Hollywood Smothers. But Hollywood Smothers, Keaton Thomas, the 2 names that Austin mentioned. How do you feel about the Sam Levitt connection there? Austin mentioned in Tennessee may be able to go up to the 3 or 4 million number.
That's fascinating because when you look at him, I kind of view him in that same conversation of like a Nussmeier type of dude. Like, I don't think a whole lot of Sam Levitt. I just don't.
Really?
Yeah,
Why not?
Not because what is his level of proving that he can do it? Like, and in this offense, how eccentric can he be? I don't know if this offense fits him. I like him in a role to where he can compete for, but just actually giving it to him.
It's the number 3 quarterback in the portal.
Oh, yeah.
Or number 1 quarterback in the portal, according to On3. Number 3 player in the portal.
I'd love to see what his number's going to be, and also how would he look in that style of offense. Tough, I get it. I think that's going to be an expensive range for Tennessee.
I mean, in 2024, at Arizona State, he completed 62% of his passes for just under 2,900 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Only threw 3 picks this year in 7 games. Completed 61% of his passes for 1,600 yards and 10 touchdowns.
I'm intrigued by it, but On3 got his NIL value at 2.4. I think that's just value. He probably gets upward of over 5+.
I think
I don't
so.
get my hopes up for nothing like that.
Again, the question I think that Sam Levitt's going to have to answer is it worth taking a little bit less to play for Josh Heupel?